Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and I want to talk about the whole cancellation media thing going on. But the reason why I want to talk about it is because after this interview with Meghan Markle and the things that Gina Carano experienced with cancel culture and tabloids and all this fodder or whatever, just kind of proves, a lot of people's theories about the cancel culture and how it needs to stop, and how these tabloids and the media stirring up these stories or whatever needs to stop. You got all of this nonsense going on at the time, and you have these two women who, we're in this movement where we're supposed to believe women, we're supposed to give them voices to be uplifted or whatever and stuff like that, and yet these two women were silenced until they had to get out of the situation in order to speak freely. And you still have people now that these women done spoke freely, still trying to be like, oh, they're woe is me, they're playing victim, they're the ones who really started all this nonsense or whatever and stuff like that. And it's just like, are you kidding me right now with this nonsense? You have two women who both went through hell and back within the thing. Nobody's saying that there's not another side to the story or whatever, but to put all the fault and blame on just that one person and not let the other people involved in the situation have no responsibility makes absolutely no sense. And even when Megan was talking about how, her and Harry went to people in Parliament for help, and they didn't really help her, dealing with all of these tabloid fodder saying all of this false stuff about her or whatever, attacking her, calling her in all these names or whatever and junk like that. And then, you try to go for help or whatever and stuff like that, and you're not getting any kind of help because they don't want to say anything because they're scared of how the media will perceive them. Do you understand how crazy that sounds? Do you understand how crazy that sounds? We're literally letting the media and these people online rule and dictate how things are going to look or how the truth is perceived. To be honest, at this point, this needs to stop. This crap right here needs to stop. It is retarded, to be honest. It's retarded, it's unacceptable, and it really shows like the whole hypocrisy of diversity, inclusion, and sexist. Everybody always want to talk about, oh, we're here for diversity, we want people of color, we want women or whatever. And then you have these two women. You have a woman that's very strong and outspoken, and then you have a strong biracial black woman in a monarchy, and both of them were silenced. But on the outside, they're over here telling people, on the outside, you got Disney and you got the royal family saying how amazing everything is, or how inclusive we are, and we are for the people or whatever. But yet you silence one of your own, and then did everything that you can to hurt them, and then have this false narrative hood about both of these women, where people are literally believing the nonsense. And I just don't understand where all of this is coming from, because where is the line at, to be honest? I don't know where the line is at, but it needs to be found, because this is ridiculous, to be honest. You have a woman that's going through this whole new change in her life, where she went from being an actress, now she's a princess. Now she has customs and rules and regulations she has to follow. She wants to impress everybody. She wants to make sure that she's not doing anything that'll upset the royals or the people of the country that she's supposed to be leading in charge or whatever and stuff like that. And you have the media, the people from the actual country, the social media constantly attacking this woman, upset at simple things, stupid things or whatever. No, what you guys were mad about is you wanted some damn dog, some obedience. And that's another thing too that aggravates me is with this whole Hollywood culture, not even just Hollywood in general, but people that are in this kind of power situation dynamic thing or whatever and stuff like that. They want people that are being married into it, walking into it, working for it, or whatever and stuff like that. They want them to be some obedient dog. And that's not how things work. You cannot think that somebody's supposed to be some goddamn dog and just do and roll over when you feel like it. And another thing that it really does show the underlying racism, the underlying sexism, the underlying hypocrisy coming from both sides. Disney and the royal family, to be honest. I'm not saying that Gina and Meghan didn't ruffle a little feathers, and I'm not saying that they didn't probably start something or whatever stuff like that. What I'm saying is you can tell by listening to both their interviews that they really felt trapped and nobody was literally helping them. And don't sit up here and be like, oh, if they had just shut up, or maybe if they didn't say anything, or maybe if they had did what they were told or whatever. They're grown women. First and foremost, they're grown women. You can't expect grown people to stay in their place all the darn time. Especially over trivial stuff. Oh, because you don't want to offend somebody's feelings. Screw your feelings, to be honest. I'm so sick of everybody walking on eggshells because somebody's feelings, or because it might be offensive or whatever and stuff like that. Dang, people are human. People mess up. People make mistakes. But don't sit up there and try to pretend like Gina and Meghan were the first people to mess up and do things. Like, where are we doing with this? This doesn't make any kind of sense to sit up here and have this constant barrage of media, trolls on the internet or whatever, people within the establishment, kind of being against you for being you or whatever and stuff like that. I don't understand when is enough is going to be enough. Whether it's a woman, whether it's a man, whether it's a person of color or not. This whole diversity, inclusion, hypocrisy thing, believe women and all that kind of stuff or whatever, or we want to pull up seats to the table. No, you don't. Because if you did, none of this nonsense would happen. To be honest, as a society, we failed these two women. We failed it. I'm just going to be honest. We failed these two women. We let them fall into this nonsense of trolling and cancellation and crap talking and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of us were gung-ho about everything because the media, social media, the people that were in charge didn't defend, didn't stop any of that kind of stuff, and kept just throwing gasoline on the fire. We failed these two women. And but the good thing about these two women is they expose the flaw that's within these establishments. It shows that everybody is scared of looking like the bad guy, or they don't want to hurt certain people's feelings. At this point, we might need to go ahead and break down establishments of people's feelings and emotions and how it looks or whatever and stuff like that. Who cares? You're human. If it hurts somebody's feelings, oh well. But for us to have let these two women fall by the wayside like that is just mind-blowing, to be honest. Because it really does show a problem in our society that we need to change this, because it's unacceptable. It's ridiculous. It's unacceptable. We cannot continue this route. I don't care whether you are a fan of Gina Carano or Meghan Markle or whatever. These two women deserve better treatment than what they were getting. And we as a society failed them because we went along with the nonsense. I I just, don't even understand what's going on in today's society right now. But this is a wake-up call for us. We need to stop this nonsense. We need to. We have the media against people who are different, and then against us as people, and then yet we let them dictate how we feel about certain people or whatever and stuff like that. I don't understand. I don't understand. We need to do better. That's all I'm saying. We need to do better. And I want society to change. And I'm glad that Gina and Meghan spoke their truths, because no matter what anybody says, this is their experience. I don't like when people try to say, oh, they're faking when it comes to stuff like this, because you can tell when you're working for certain establishments, especially when it comes to jobs. I'm not talking about other things outside of that, because there is a whole lot of ifs, ands, and buts about it. But what I'm talking about is when you work in a job and you work in a corporation of a sort of establishment or whatever, you do get treated differently depending on who you are, where you are, what your position is, how long you've been there. Don't pretend and get it twisted like it ain't something all of a sudden that's brand new. Because we failed these women. And it should be a good wake-up call. We need to wake up. That's all I'm saying. We just need to wake up. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.